Welcome to another interview with El Vocero Hispano. The Human Rights Campaign has been active for more than 40 years, and they are a national nonprofit organization that is focused on the equality rights of the LGBTQ plus community. Now that the elections are coming up, they're also focusing on endorsing and helping certain candidates that are for pro-democracy and pro-equality. They are also trying to build a connection with the Hispanic community. To speak about this, I have Karla Bahm and Dakota Torolski. They are both organizers from the Human Rights Campaign, so thank you both for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I mentioned a little bit about their mission and what the focus is of the organization, but can either one of you tell me a little bit more of what the resources are that are available?
Yeah, sure. I can take that one. So one, super excited to be here. Thank you for hosting us. Before I explain exactly, first I'll explain, exactly what HRC is and then really how we see ourselves. So HRC, like you mentioned, has been around for more than 40 years, founded in 1980. And we are the nation's largest nonprofit organization working to achieve LGBTQ plus equality.
Okay.
That is our organization, but we really see ourselves as the continuation of the struggle and the fight for LGBTQ equality. It started really, a long time ago, but everyone's familiar with Stonewall. We just had Pride not too long ago. It's particularly important to remind ourselves today as the challenges we've even faced this year here in Michigan, that our movement was really founded from struggle. Okay. And HRC really sees ourselves as continuing that movement that was born out of that to this day.
Okay. And you guys are located everywhere, like all around the nation, but why be here in Michigan? Is there like a priority for this state and this city?
Yeah, so like I said, HRC is a nationwide organization. We have teams and organizers across the country, but particularly here in Michigan. We have organizers across the state. Michigan itself is a priority state because we have overlapping interests. We have statewide candidates, statewide pro-quality candidates who have really made sure that have been fighting for equality. We also have candidates running at the congressional level, supporting equality, and then at the statewide level as well, particularly in the state senate. And so there's overlapping priorities in Michigan. That's why it's a really important state, especially this year. We're super excited to have an incredible organizer in Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids is a priority region within the priority state, specifically because of those overlapping interests. But also, a foundation of HRC is diversity, equity, and inclusion. That is always, a foundation within our work in trying to improve engagement and movement on those issues. And so a focus here in Grand Rapids also is engaging the Hispanic and Spanish-speaking community. So we're super excited to be doing that this year too, and I can let Karla talk a little more about that.
Hi, Dakota say the fact we are here in Grand Rapids is because we can approach the Hispanic community. This time maybe can be our priority. The election is coming up, but also we want to approach the Hispanic community because they know. They had a organization like Human Rights Campaign. They can feel supported about it. I know for our culture, the Hispanic community can be not open-minded about the issue for say a word about be a gay or lesbian or trans. But what I really want this job when I apply for that is because I want help people. So they know an organization like Human Rights Campaign are here in Grand Rapids for they feel supported. Maybe sometimes, repeat again, because our part of the Latin community is so close, my close, how I say. I want they know this organization had their backs. They had somebody for tell about it, how they feeling, for find friends maybe, but more for that for have support. People are in this community that want to talk and want to feel they are included. This is exactly what I am doing. I am meeting with different organizations, activists, One, because we want support candidates are going to pro-equality, pro-democracy, but also because we want the approach to Hispanic community for they know we are here for them.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that we were kind of talking about before the interview is that the Hispanic community struggles a little bit to understand the LGBTQ plus community. And I feel like the organization you guys are in, which is the Human Rights Campaign, I think that's a great start and that's a great foundation where you guys can actually connect with the community and let them know that there's somebody there, you know, and maybe you guys are doing events and connecting and everything, and maybe that's a place where they should probably go just to feel accepted and welcomed. So
yeah. Absolutely. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, absolutely, and thank you for really bringing that up because you know to speak about who we are and what we do. You know, obviously part of pushing forward the movement for equality is us doing events, supporting pro-equality candidates, supporting pro-equality policy. Doing voter education. We're going to have tons of voter education events in the community and opportunities for people to come in, and we'll probably talk about that. But exactly what Karla said, the other part is just us to be a safe space for people in the community, you know, who maybe are going through, you know, are struggling with challenges or, you know, are thinking about their identity and who they are and want someone who's like-minded or, you know, shares their values or is part of their community. We really want to be a space where people can come engage, be themselves, thrive, be around some people who are supportive. That's definitely, you know, what we hope to achieve in our work.
And I applaud you guys for the work that you guys are doing because there's a lot of organizations and you know, different foundations that I've heard of from different communities or, you know, medical illnesses or whatever the case may be that isn't present in Grand Rapids. So for you guys to be here and represent, that's a great deal. And I applaud you because you're the Hispanic person trying to make that connection with the Hispanic community, which is really needed.
Yeah,
what I can see.
For us, it's really important all the community know about what we doing. It's important they connect with us, we connect with them. And maybe in this, like I say, in these kind of events, they can find friends. No, it's something in space is open for them for be them. So yeah, it's really important for me be here, be part of this big organization. Like you say, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am really excited for the job we are doing. I really appreciate any time that the persons I contact before and they had the time for hear us from organization and try to help us on the mission we have.
Yeah, and we were talking about the candidates as well that you guys are supporting or the campaign is supporting. Why do you guys believe that it's important to support these certain candidates?
Yeah, well, particularly right now, you know, I just think this year, you know, like I mentioned, HRC really was born out of that moment of struggle, right? So this, you know, our movement, the fight for equality, you know, has never been this just easygoing flow of everything's okay, but we're just going to do it anyways. You know, it's always been because, you know, we've been faced with challenges. And this year's been no different, you know, whether it was attacks on abortion care, whether it was attacks on voting rights, whether it was trying to prevent, you know, kids from being kids and just playing with the sports team that they identify with. You know, those are things we've been faced with across the country, but particularly here in Michigan. So the reason it's just important to, one, make sure, you know, we're you know, paying attention to our government, to our politics, voting, you know, staying engaged is one, people have fought, those rights weren't always there either. You know, and when we look at history, it feels like, oh, you know, maybe those things were so long ago. But I think many of us know it wasn't too long ago. And many people are still around, you know, who fought for some of the rights that I think we take, you know, a lot of people take for granted today. And so, one, just recognizing that you can truly have an impact on your community by staying engaged, being informed, and making your voice heard. And the other thing I always, you know, we talk about, and I like to say, is like, if you're not making your voice heard, someone else is. You know, and only you know what's truly best for you and your family. So I think that's, you know, one reason it's important to stay engaged and informed and vote in general, but particularly equality right now. You know, I think the fight for equality, you know, we've continued, you know, to have wins over time. And, we see that our movement is growing, and more people are embracing equality, and that really that's where our country is moving. But while we have wins and while we see that progress, we know that, the anti-equality folks who don't share those values are seeing that, and they're getting frustrated too. And that's why we're seeing a lot of these challenges, things like trying to prevent kids from playing with the sports team they identify, picking, ways to, produce frustration on anger and division when truly we could be coming together. And people ultimately want the same things, to be happy, safe.
Yeah. That's something that I've been seeing all around the world too. There's just so much violence and everything going on. So just to support people that are, like you guys mentioned, pro-democracy and pro-equality, I think that's just a start for maybe some peace in the world that I think we all want. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And how can the community get involved with the Human Rights Campaign or just overall before the elections with you guys?
So we are super excited, and just to continue what you were saying earlier, like about it being good that we're doing this work. I feel incredibly grateful every day. I think that we get to do this work. Both of us do. We know how important it is, and frankly, I think both of us feel like the work we're doing is long overdue, right? And we know there's a lot of great people who we are standing on their shoulders, because they've been doing this work as well. But incredibly proud to be doing that work, and we're going to be having a couple different things going on. One, we're doing voter contact activities to support pro-equality candidates. So we're doing some phone banks, doing canvases in the community, knocking on doors, actually having conversations with people. And the most important thing, for those listening who maybe think oh, that's stuff, I'm not the person who engages in those type of activities. We really encourage you, to try and come check it out. The most important thing, kind of with what we were just talking about, is that, we're humans who care, who realize that there's others who share a community, and we show up. And when you see someone face to face, you don't need to be a political expert or a policy expert or have done something before. You just need to be a human who cares and can share your values. And so that's what we're doing. So we have phone banking activities. We have canvas activities. Our phone banks in Grand Rapids are Thursdays, 6 to 8 p.m. The exact location changes, but you can find that online, and we always send the address beforehand. So that's, again, phone banks are Thursdays, 6 to 8 p.m. in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
We're really excited about our canvases, those door knocking opportunities.
This Saturday, yeah?
Yeah, this Saturday, absolutely.
Okay. So you guys are just starting that this Saturday?
Yes,
yeah, okay.
It is our first
this
one.
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a specific area that you guys will be targeting, or is it just overall all in Grand Rapids?
So it's in Grand Rapids. Specifically, we're going to be, again, supporting pro-equality candidates. The exact location, is unknown, but that's not put out right away. But it will be in Grand Rapids, and it's going to be talking to folks who need a reminder to vote. It's a midterm election.
Yeah.
Right, and so we know, whenever it's not just the presidential year, a lot of folks don't make it. They need a reminder, and so that's part of what we're doing. That's Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. in Grand Rapids. We're excited to start this Saturday, and if you join, not only will you get to come and support equality right here in your community and make sure equality wins this November, but you'll also get a nice HRC T-shirt.
Oh, nice. Okay,
so.
merch.
And then the last event I want to make sure to plug too is, yes, we're excited to do those voter contact activities, but I know one thing Karla is really excited and we were talking about is also just the community engagement. And part of that community engagement is one, like we said, just being a safe space where if you're someone who cares about these issues we're talking about, you can just come and say hello and hang out, and we'll be somewhere, we'll be someone you can talk to. But the second piece is we're gonna create some spaces where the community can come and engage and learn about the voting process, especially this election cycle. Over the past couple of years, Michigan has had a few things change with its voting rules, some really good changes.
Yeah.
And so we're excited to tell people about those, do some voter education. We're going to have a voter education event. It's called a Protecting Democracy Training.
Okay.
It's going to be Monday, September 26th. That's going to be at the Grand Rapids Pride Center here in Grand Rapids. and that is also 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay, great. And are any of the events bilingual since you're...
Yeah, I am working in this. Like I say, I have some meetings when Hispanic community organization person.
Okay.
We are trying to find a date when what person will be there. We are just working on that, but because I want this event to be used in Spanish for the Hispanic community. Just I want they know how important is vote for a candidate pro quality. Use the power had in this finger. And this finger had a power to elect a good candidate. This candidate see you. Is worry about the priorities had the Hispanic community. So we are working so hard in this. And hopefully in some weeks we had a place and day for these events.
Okay, that's great. Like I mentioned before, I applaud both of you guys for the work that you guys are doing and the needed connection that there has to be, with the LGBTQ plus community and the Hispanic community. So, is there any way that the community can connect with either one of you guys, or with the foundation?
I'll let Karla plug her phone number as well, or I think may have that. But I will say definitely follow us, on social media.
Okay.
We have an incredible digital organizer here in Michigan. I'll give her a shout out, Chantel. Posting incredible stuff. You can find us, like I said, on Instagram, HRC Michigan. We have a Facebook group that's really fun to engage with.
Okay.
And I know we're on Twitter as well.
Okay.
But if you are curious about these phone banking, canvassing, or protecting democracy events, you can just Google HRC Michigan. The site we use is called Mobilize. If you're familiar with Mobilize, you can find us on there. But otherwise, you can just Google HRC Michigan events and they'll pop up.
Okay. Is there anything else that either one of you would like to add or let the community know about?
If you let me tell the Hispanic community in Spanish,
yes,
so within the
yeah.
Okay, so solamente les quiero decir a ellos que Human Rights Campaign está aquí para apoyarlos. Estamos aquí en Grand Rapids para escucharlos. Esta organización los ve, we see you the way they are, como ellos son realmente. Y queremos que sepan que nosotros vemos personas, vemos humanos. Esa es nuestra misión, nuestra visión, ayudarlos con quienes ellos son. Sabemos que nuestra cultura a veces no es fácil de aceptar a las personas como son. Es difícil para las familias latinas aceptar a un hijo, o a un hermano, a un primo que es parte de la comunidad LGBTQ+. Pero estamos aquí para ellos, para ayudarlos. Vamos a abrir un espacio bonito, no solamente para enseñarles lo que es la importancia de votar y elegir un candidato pro democracia o pro igualdad, sino también abrir un espacio donde ellos puedan hablar, contarnos cómo se sienten, si se sienten rechazados, y cómo los trata su familia, sus amigos, y ayudarlos y escucharlos en eso. Estamos aquí en Grand Rapids, no tenemos obviamente, como hemos dicho, una oficina para ellos, pero vamos a buscar lugares y realizar eventos donde ellos se sientan ellos y puedan comunicarse con nosotros y de repente, ¿por qué no hacer amigos en esos eventos, en esos lugares?
Gracias por eso. Yeah, I think the community needs to know about what you guys are doing and just, like we mentioned, just connect and engage and be a part of something. So thank you guys both for being here. And I will have on screen the contact information. It's the website, which is www.hrc.org, and Facebook, where you can find them at Human Rights Campaign. But we will also be putting the phone number of Karla on the description as well. So if you guys want to keep watching interviews in English or Spanish, you can visit us at elvocerous.com or our YouTube page at El Vocero Hispano TV. Thank you.